Thank you for listening to the Gateway to the Rockies podcast from Visit Aurora from the rafters of the Stanley Marketplace. This is the show dedicated to telling the stories of Aurora, Colorado. Hi there, I'm Dave, the Senior Marketing Manager for Visit Aurora. Global Fest is the city's signature event showcasing international cultures. Now in its 11th year, Global Fest is a free multicultural experience bringing the sights, sounds, and flavors of nations from around the world to celebrate the diverse people and communities that call Aurora home. The family-friendly one-day event includes 2 stages of vibrant musical and dance performances, a variety of local food trucks, an international marketplace, the Parade of Nations, a fashion show, art displays, creative activities for children, and so much more. To talk about it, I'd like to welcome back to the show Minsoo Song from the Office of International and Immigrant Affairs. Thank you, Minsoo.
Thank you, Dave.
It's great to see you again.
It's great to see you again.
And joining us for the first time, Jonathan Tejada from Taco Bron, Manny Tejada from Taco Bron, 2 of the vendors that are at this incredible event. Thank you for taking the time, gentlemen.
Yeah, of course. We feel so welcome to be here, and we're excited.
Minsoo, Aurora is the only city in Colorado with a comprehensive immigrant integration plan.
Yes.
It helps the city's foreign-born population adapt to their new life in America. Can you tell us about your role with the Office of International and Immigrant Affairs and some of the vital resources and opportunities that your team helps provide to the community?
So as you know, like City of Aurora is the most diverse city in the state of Colorado, and our city's leadership felt the need to have a special office to assist our newcomers. So that's what we do. So sometimes we act as like liaison between the community and city departments, and also we work closely with a nonprofit or for-profit organization working with our international community. So we connect our newcomers with available resources in the city.
Global Fest is kind of an extension of your work. Now, Global Fest belongs to the city.
Yes.
But it's really your office. This is really kind of a celebration of all the work you do every year.
Definitely. I think Global Fest is a really special event for not just for the city, especially for our office, because all of our office staff, we are first generation immigrant from like other countries. So like we are part of the community, and Global Fest is a special event where all different cultures could be appreciated and like understand. So we take great pride in like a planning for the event, so we could like invite all different community, and like we could just become one greater community in the city.
That's what I love about Global Fest is it's thousands of people gathering saying, this is my community, but here are our cultures.
Yes.
It's a beautiful kind of marriage of those 2 ideas. Could you kind of give us a brief overview of what Global Fest is all about in your view?
So Global Fest, we start with Parade of Nations. I'm sure all of you watched the Olympic opening ceremony.
Oh, yeah.
So, this year we'll be starting with like 54 different countries, and all of these countries' flag will be presented by the community members. So all these community members will proudly represent their country, and they will carry the flag. We recognize all this amazing community in the city.
Yeah, that was something I really enjoyed attending this last year and in the previous years as well, is just seeing that each flag that is in City Hall is taken off of its stand and given a purpose. And it's like parade of flags. It's awesome, you know? And each of the flag bearers, so to say, each of them tries to wear some sort of traditional clothing from their country. So it's awesome. It's very insightful. You learn a lot from it.
Yep, definitely. And also we do have 2 stages with like all different performers, but we would like to recruit like all the local talents. So like all the local talents from like Ethiopian community, like Mexican community, like all different communities. So they want to show off their traditional dances and like performances. So it's a great opportunity for our community to show off their cultural heritage, but also we could educate others as well.
It's also about the food. Our friends from Taco Bron are here. Jonathan,
That's right.
There's a real passion in each ingredient. Use special tortillas. The way the proteins are marinated.
Yeah, of course.
That attention to detail makes Taco Bron really unique. Can you take us back to how it all started?
Yeah, you know, I love telling this story just because sometimes it just feels like a movie was playing, like in like how everything panned out. So all started back in high school, actually. Every Wednesday there was no lunch for my school, and so I packed chips and guac one day, had my friends try it, and they all were blown away, and they told me I should sell it. So they thought I wouldn't take it seriously, but I ended up taking it seriously. I made prepackaged chips and guacamole, and I would sell it every Wednesday because no one had a lunch period on Wednesdays. And then I ended up expanding that to selling it to the teachers and getting a card swiper. And I would be lying if I didn't say I had to bribe a teacher or two with the free chips and guac to get into the classroom, you know. But fast forward from there, my dad saw Manny, who was here with us. He saw that ambition and that sort of drive I had for the business and made a promise to me, sort of like a bet, honestly. He was saying, if you can save each dollar you make specifically from this business, when you graduate, I'm going to match that. And then fast forward, he did. He matched it. From there, we were able to
tell what you said to me when I brought that up.
Well, so I really just wanted him to eat his words. It's like I was like, I'm gonna make you regret that.
So you started hustling.
Oh yeah, I did. I started hustling. I started selling. I was working at Starbucks at the time.
Yeah.
So I started selling to all the Starbucks in my district. So I would cover shifts at other Starbucks, make friends, be like, hey, by the way, I sell guac.
Right.
And the funniest part to me was I knew which days all the Starbucks employees would get their tips, because it was once a week they'd get an envelope full of cash, and it was the perfect day to come because when you have cash you want to spend it,
right?
And so I'd have a schedule. Okay, on Tuesday this store gets their tips, so I'm going to drop off some guac, get some cash, and I'd have a routine that I followed during college, because I went to Front Range and I did community college. So yeah, but from there we were able to get a down payment on the truck, and then during college I was running the truck with my dad and employees, just making meets and going to events whenever we could, going to breweries in between, on the weekends whenever I wasn't in class and all that. And from there we ran the food truck for 6-7 years. We really made a name for ourselves. And going back to what you were saying about the tacos, that's the most important thing, is when you have a recipe or like a dish that's in so many people's eyes a simple dish, just like a street taco, you know, meat, tortilla, onion, cilantro, salsa. The way that you can make it different, the way you can make it shine, is by putting the importance in the process, putting the importance in the ingredients, making sure that everyone's eating the tacos al tiempo, which is like fast, you know, because a street taco is not good if it sits in the window for 2-3 minutes. So we took all of that technique and all of that process of like failure and all that, and we were able to culminate it into what we now have is a brick and mortar restaurant. So we just opened up our brick and mortar restaurant downtown maybe a year ago, and we're hoping to expand into Aurora, you know, because like we've lived in Aurora for 3 years. We love attending Global Fest, and it's always been awesome, the types of events we get to attend here and the diversity. I agree with Minsoo when you say that, like this city is one of the most diverse in Colorado, the most diverse.
Yes.
What is there, like 160 some languages?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's
So just like what Jonathan said, like we want to show off our local talents who's been getting national recognition through like Food Network and all this. So we want to like just, because we are the destination for, if you want to try international cuisine, Aurora is the...
Oh, I'll tell you right now, my go-to spot for anything that is hot pot, sushi, ramen, boils, all of it is in Aurora. It's such a huge, just melting pot of good restaurants.
And the world is starting to notice as well. Afar magazine named on Havana Street one of the top 10 culinary neighborhoods in the entire country. So we're talking national recognition for the food scene in Aurora, and thank you for contributing to that. I have to ask though, one doesn't just start making incredible guacamole and then incredible tacos. Like, where did the passion for cooking come from? Where did the recipes come from? What's the story there?
Of course. Okay, so let's go in order with each recipe. Like just some of our number one sellers, right? So the chips and guacamole, specifically, that's just something that I honed. Like it was a family recipe. My mom showed me how to make it once, and then from there, I had plenty of years of practice because I made it throughout all of high school. So it, like the passion for cooking comes from just growing up in a family that's fully South American, you know, a splash of Spaniard in there, like just a very diverse family. So I grew up being a Colorado native. Me and my dad would every August, every like green chili season, we'd get 3 or 4 bags and we'd had to make green chili.
You have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because there's a specific season where you can pick up the green chilies. So I've spent many years peeling green chilies. Sometimes I think I could probably chop an onion before I knew how to speak, but obviously I wasn't a baby holding a knife. So, but the inspiration for the recipes mainly comes from our love for Mexican food.
Yeah.
You know, my dad's Peruvian, my mom's Venezuelan, so we're not Mexican ourselves, but growing up in Colorado, we grew up around a very like Mexican dominated culture, you know, especially in like the 90s, early 2000s.
Generations.
Yeah, generations of that. So it's like green chili is very popular, you know, the Tex-Mex style beef and bean burritos, nachos, refried beans, and well, we were having a hard time finding a good taco out there. We would go out to eat. We'd be like, you know what, we could do better. We know we could do better. Why don't we do it? You know, and I'd say that I guess the final ingredient or the catalyst that caused this like chemical reaction was when I was in high school, a movie called Chef had just came out. It was with Jon Favreau.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah, it was a great movie because it's about a washed up chef decides to get out of the restaurant business, open up a food truck, and him and his son run the food truck and go on a cross-country tour. They're touring, they're showing the food, they're getting involved with the social media, which was something new back then, how much the food trucks were implementing social media and like having like a trending following them from state to state. So we both watched that movie and we're just like, man, is this a sign?
It's been about 10 years since we, started like, with the food truck. This is before the food truck scene started like getting like so popular here, because I believe like Colorado has like close to like 1,500 food trucks, and 90% of them are tacos. So if we're gonna do tacos, we gotta make sure like we're the top taco truck, so, and we try, so that's it's just how fast. The same with Global Fest too, how fast it's going on the 11th year, so yeah. So as Johnny was saying, we saw that movie Chef, and it's like, man, I think we can do this. So we had the food truck. We implemented. I believe we got licensed to participate at the Denver Taco Truck.
Denver Taco Festival.
I'm sorry, Denver Taco Festival in Denver. And we were like, I was skeptical. It's like, hey, we're not ready. We just get more prepared. And Johnny was telling us, no. He was pushing. We got to do it. That's our opening.
It was our debut. We had a deadline. We had to hit it because it was the Denver Taco Festival. It was like the place to showcase our taco.
And that was the biggest festival at the time for tacos. I'm thinking like maybe 30,000 people for 2 days, So we reviewed the food truck, and we're a little skeptical because they put us way back in the corner, and I was like, hey man, move us out. It's like, no, you're gonna be fine. And then we get the lines wouldn't stop, and everybody's asking, it's like, hey, what's going on? It's because like, well, everybody's like saying where the good food is, and it's like showing us, So since that, it's been pretty good.
Not that you needed that confirmation personally, but I imagine it felt pretty good to get that confirmation from an external source like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I grew up cooking for people, as it's just something like I enjoy doing. And the question that always comes after is like, what'd you think?
Yeah.
And it's never like, I'm not looking for praise. I'm looking for like honest answers. And that's why whenever we see those lines, that's an honest answer right there. That like when people say, oh yeah, we were slammed, but they don't have the numbers to prove it, or you don't see like those lines. Like seeing is believing for us. So for that first event to go the way it did, for us to see that we had those lines, that we weren't like drowning, but at the same time we knew where we could improve, that was the exciting part. That's what kept us going, is seeing like, okay, we're doing good, how do we make it better? And like having that mentality has brought us to where we are today.
So Minsoo, how do you go about attracting vendors? Like, is it a call for people to get involved, or do you go out and look for the best of the best? What's the process like?
So at the beginning, I think we reached out to local business, but now I think this year we opened the vendor registration early June, and by early July, we reached our full capacity.
That's what happens when you're in year 11, right?
Yes.
How do you keep it fresh? Because 11 years, they say don't mess with a good thing, but you also got to keep evolving. What's the evolution of Global Fest in your eyes, and what are some of the new offerings this year?
So this year, we register as a special event because some of our home business, they don't have a business license through the city. So it was one of the obstacles for them to participate. So now for this year, we registered as a special event. They were able to get a one-day business license to sell the product. So we want to provide a platform for our small business, home-based business to showcase their merchandise or products and their services to the community.
Jonathan, Manny, you have a following now. You have an established brick and mortar. You have national acclaim. Why is it still important for you to be involved in community events like Global Fest?
As a food truck, I'll tell you right now, the most important thing is the community. And as we are mobile, events like these are where we can spread the joy of our food the fastest to the most amount of people. And then on top of that too, like I said, we've lived in
Aurora.
We've lived in Aurora. So for Global Fest specifically, it's an amazing event. You know, the every year I learn something new that I can do in Aurora, and then I go do it. So last year it was salsa classes. They had demonstrations. I was like, you know what? I got to do that. I got to be good at salsa dancing. And then the year after that, I was impressed by the tauntaun drums that the Japanese Cultural Society had. It was fantastic. So sorry, I got off topic, but I
salsa dancing. Huh?
Yeah. But those events are our bread and butter. You know, it's like I said, it's like every time we get to go out to an event and have people who have never tried our food before come to the truck and be like, oh man, I saw you on Food Network, I've been wanting to try you, or we saw you post on your Instagram, that was crazy, we want to try these tacos. And so we do it mainly for the people, for obviously for the exposure. We want everyone to know and have the opportunity to taste all of our different flavors, but it's more for the people. We get so much joy from people telling us man, that's a good taco. You took me back to my country, Mexico, or you took me back to LA. This is an LA taco, and you cannot get that out here in Colorado. You know, something's wrong. They don't put the pineapple on the pastor, or
I'm from Soho, so
yeah. We get that a lot. It's oh, we're from SoCal, we know good tacos. And it's okay, well, have our tacos. Tell us what you
and also we want to make sure too that the events that we participate, we see with great potential. Obviously Global Fest, since the beginning, it has a greater potential, and I think this event could be one of the biggest successful international multicultural in the whole state of Colorado. So I think that's where it's going, and we're glad to be part of from the beginning till when it comes huge.
Minsoo, when you're talking to these local vendors and these local businesses that come and participate in Global Fest, do you hear stories about them receiving increased traffic throughout the year because of the exposure that they get from the festival every year?
Yes, and also I think through the Global Fest, we educate our community, and we are I think growing global ambassador in our community. So it's not just their increase in their business, but I think all different international business. Now they want to expand their market in Aurora because they know that we already have a established market for them. So it's great business opportunity for our local vendors, so they could get connected with international business as well.
Also for families in Aurora and the metro area, Global Fest is the best 4-letter F word: free.
Family oriented.
There are lots of family activities. Can you talk about some of the family-friendly activities that are available for folks on the day of Global Fest?
Yes, we have face painter and balloon twister, and this year new to this event is we're going to have Colorado Soccer Foundation. So they're going to have a mini soccer field. So they're going to have a kids soccer clinic. So that's another thing that we love to invite our family, especially young ones, to maybe polish their soccer skill a little bit.
Keyword free, once again, something that you can do with the family, have a lot of fun, and it's absolutely free. Logistically, is it any different preparing for an event like this than it is for any other work week? Does it put an extra strain or demand on you when it comes to preparing to serve what could potentially be thousands of people?
Now, I would say if we were newer to the scene, like if we were food truck maybe 2 or 3 years in, I'd say, oh yeah, we take the 2 days before the event, we're calculating everything, we're weighing our meat and all that, but we've got it down to a science now. So yes, we always take extra good care to make sure that we're fully prepped and that we never run out of food, because that's the worst thing you can do at an event. I know it sounds nice, like, oh, we ran out of food, that's great, but if there's more people that want to eat the tacos, then it's not so good. So we always do take care to make sure. And the best part is, or not the best part, but like the gamble we always have to take is, if the event is doing better than what is expected, like the estimated numbers are 4,000 and 6,000 people show up, we try to always be ready for that scenario, because we support any festival or any event that we do that's a public event. We want to add to that event. We want to like bring our presence and improve upon the event itself. And the way we can do that is by always having enough food, making sure that everyone gets fed, because some people can't make it to the events until later parts,
When Johnny was talking that he was selling like guacamole, chips, and he was also working at Starbucks, all that is like a movie,
Yeah.
But here's what's interesting to answer your question. Let me get there. So back then there was no card reader, so he had the kids ask him in high school, hey, do you take cards? He says, no, I don't. So back then, I don't know if you know the company Square. Mm-hmm. Square started selling the little Square chips that you can connect on your phone, so you can run
connect it to your audio.
I don't know if you remember that, but that started in Starbucks. You can get it for free at Starbucks, and you connect it on your phone. That's how and that's how he started taking cards. I wish food would invest in Square since then. But Square is a big company now that runs. A lot of POS systems and systems throughout the food industry, especially restaurants. So that's the system that we have integrated in our food truck, in our restaurant as well. What that means is that tells us data of what tacos sold the most, how many people, how many orders, and everything else. So in every event, it's really important for us as business owners that we keep data, so we can tell you, the traffic, what we sold the most, and we keep data throughout the many years, even from a week from last week. What did we do here? Or we're short. Why? What happened? We didn't do fast enough or whatever. So we are, for an event like this, we're like prepping for a whole week and making sure that we have enough staff and everybody it's kind of like a football game. It's like, you're going to do this and that, and it needs to be fast. We don't want to say too much about our secret weapons, what we do for events, but mainly the food's got to be good, it's got to be fresh, and it's got to be fast. So that's what we do.
I feel like, Jonathan, that you had this innate culinary ability, but you also have this business and marketing acumen. You're kind of the total package when it comes to being a successful restaurateur.
Well, we're in our first year, so let's get through 2 years and then we'll call it like a good success, because it's always, the first year is always that first hump you got to get past. But I really appreciate you saying that. I did go to college while I was doing the food truck, and I knew that I needed to go into something that could benefit my business or that will take me to places, any type of job or place I want to go, and that was marketing. So I was able to implement the degree I got in marketing and information systems. Going back to what Manny was saying about the data, it's like those numbers and just the ones and zeros on a page, it's like they're really hard to read. It's intimidating sometimes, but I'd say being able to get down to that is where you can make the biggest difference. And just, I'm a showman, and I think being able to serve food as my platform is where I was meant to be. I have no culinary experience in regards to like school,
right?
But right now I've
but what's good.
I've rolled thousands of burritos, I've chopped 1 million onions at least, but it just comes down to my tradition and like my childhood. I grew up in a kitchen very diverse in flavors, with a lot of people that knew how important it is to cook. I was given packed lunches every day. Back then I didn't appreciate it. I'd be like, man, these guys are eating like chicken tenders and French fries every day, and
right,
I've got chicken and rice. But Overall, I think that's what led to where I am today is being surrounded by just some amazing cultures. Both my amazing parents, both great cooks. To this day, I still am learning things in the kitchen that I shouldn't be from them, you know. And and the most fun part about working with my dad, working with Manny, is that we hold each other accountable when it comes to recipes, and we are always tasting each other's recipes and giving each other like feedback, you know, whether it be a critique or a compliment, being like, hey, this is good, but what if we did this instead? And then, you know, we butt heads being like, well, it's my recipe, you know, like but after everything settles, after the dust settles, we look at each other like, you know what, I'm going to try it. And if he's right, I'm not going to tell him. I'm just going to do it.
Minsoo, I'm curious about your day. Are you able to enjoy Global Fest? Or are you just logistically running around like a crazy person the entire day?
So I'm more like running around, pulling my hairs out, but I make sure I enjoy the event. So especially for international fashion show, I am just there because there's no place other than Global Fest you get to experience all this vibrant and beautiful traditional attires from all around the world. So I'm all there, and also I make sure I go to the food truck area.
Yeah, I mean,
to try one of the best street tacos from Taco Bron. And having Manny and Jonathan is such an inspiration to young people in our community. They're being such a good role model, and they're someone they could look up to, and that just inspires them.
I love that, you know, Global Fest celebrates the diversity of cultures within Aurora, and Taco Bron contributes to that diversity. When you see the other vendors, I imagine it's nice to see an array of cultures. Is there some friendly competition among the community as well?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're competitive people, you know, and it's not so much competitive as like, oh man, they've got a bigger line than us, like we're jealous. No, we're not jealous people, we're competitive. We see you have a big line, it's like, oh man, they're doing good, we got to do better, you know, like if their line's big, we got to get our line big. We have like theatrics, you know, we have a cowbell, we even have a luchador mask, some like big cleavers. So if we need to bring a crowd in, we know what we need to do to bring a crowd in. But it's all love in the food truck community. You know, we've worked with the previous food trucks at that event. You know, it is a tight-knit community. We've interacted with most of the food trucks in Colorado just from the amount of years we've been here and in business. So Global Fest is one of my favorite events because there's a system of bartering between food trucks. You know, we look at each other, you give them the eye, you give them the sort of nod and be like, okay, great, I'm going to bring you some tacos, you bring me some like anything, mac and cheese, burgers, probably like Ethiopian food will most likely be here.
We also get to critique other people's food. It's like, this is good. It's like,
of course, yeah. So it's got its benefits business-wise and pleasure-wise, where it's like, okay, why did they have a good line? Like, oh man, this is pretty crispy, it's good, like this sauce is good. Or, oh, you know what, these guys, they're working on it, they need a little bit more. But yeah, my favorite, there's going to be most likely Ethiopian food, and that's something about Global Fest, is that I think it's one of the only events where you will find what you're looking for. And if your girlfriend doesn't know what to eat, take her to Global Fest, because she will find something. If you guys can't decide, go to Global Fest. There'll be like any palate that needs to be satisfied. This is the place to do it.
Minsoo, how would you like to see Global Fest continue to evolve? You're 15, you're 20. How would you like to see Global Fest evolve?
It's just like what Manny said. I want it to be the event for to show off our like diversity. Maybe whole state or like internationally, right? So we could attract
2 days, yeah.
But well, just for one day event, we're experiencing limited space already.
Yeah.
So like that's something that we need to work on, because we would love, like we had to turn down so many different vendors for this year's event. So like we need to figure out more space to have it. And also I think we started to see participation from youth in the community, so I would like to see more participation from the youth as well.
I don't expect you to release any family secrets, but just generally, what is the key to a great street taco?
Ingredients were from all the way from the tortillas. Our tortillas are the taco is just not the taco. If you go to our social media, what we have there is like, we don't have the best tacos, or we don't try to say that we have the best tacos, but our saying is like perfecting the taco. So a taco could always be well. So, and that starts from the quality of the tortilla. The tortilla that we get is from nixtamal. And if you don't know what that is, that's what the indigenous in Mexico and South America would do the nixtamalization process that not that many places get the tortillas from. Luckily, there's a tortilla place here in Aurora that we special order tortillas there. And like they're one of the few. And we go through, when we went to talk to them, and hey, we're not taking no more customers. Like, you got to take me because this is going to elevate our tacos. You don't want to see our tacos. We need to elevate it. It's like, okay. So the meat and the whole process. And also, we're foodies. So we also travel all over the world, and we're always tasting food and see how the process is. And our recipes come through a process of testing it over time, and that mastering recipes. So we don't only do just street tacos, but we also do the Baja fish, which is like beer batter from Baja California. We also have like the green chili, which, you know, like you said, no validation. We know we have the best green chili in this town, and if you don't believe it, come in and try it. And we see our customers coming in every day. We have the best breakfast burritos, and again, everything's from people tell us like, "Why is your food so good? It's just so good." Well, it's really simple. We cut our potatoes every day. You know, we crack the eggs. They're now like, you know, pre-made eggs or whatever. You know, everything's the tortillas. We custom make the tortillas, so they're like a certain diameter of thickness. So when you warm them up and you do all the stuff, that's what you're tasting. Oh, okay. So that's our secret. You know, it's just plain and simple.
Tell us about any upcoming events. Where can we connect with you on social media and on the web, and what are some upcoming events you're excited for?
Well, we are definitely excited for Global Fest. So Global Fest is happening August 17th. That's next Saturday, not this upcoming, but the following Saturday. We're very excited for that. You can catch us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. It is at El Taco Bron. ELTACOBRON. El Taco Bron. Now, one standout thing I will say about the street taco, I'm going to give you guys the rundown on how to make the perfect street taco and why we always recommend it's eaten this way. So in our restaurant and in the food truck, we always have all the toppings outside of the food truck. We don't top the tacos out for you. Now people look at us and they're like, "Oh man, these tacos look lame. It's just meat and tortilla." And we always get that sort of like feedback, and we always bounce back with like, "Hey, you know, a lot of people like a lot of different things, but we have the Taco Bron commandments." If you check out our brick and mortar downtown, we're currently between 16th and Curtis. I know there's a lot of construction, so it's difficult, but if you're ever in the area, please stop by, check us out. We have our Taco Bron commandments on the wall that explain how to make the perfect taco. So I'm going to run you through it. So for the street tacos, you start with the nixtamal tortilla that Manny was explaining to you. Any meat you like. We've got carne asada, al pastor, grilled chicken, and then veggie options as well. From there, you got to top it off with some freshly cut onion and cilantro, a spritz of lime juice, and then depending on the taco you get is the type of salsa you put. So for the al pastor, typically we like to recommend the red salsa, our red salsa, which is just like a spicy chili salsa. It's an amazing blend with the al pastor tacos because it's got some sweetness from the pineapple that's also put on top. But when you get to the steak, it's already got a lot of that citrus from our secret marinade. So with that, you want a more punch, like a garlicky, limey flavor that you get from our tomatillo sauce. And if the other thing that you eat on the side is every plate of tacos has to have some sort of radish or cucumber. And the reason you eat that is people love eating tacos and they love the heat. Mexican people love that spicy food, but they don't want to stop eating. They just need to cool down. So in between bites, that's what the cucumber's for. That's what the radish is for. So like your mouth is burning. Brilliant. You just start eating a little bit of cucumber with some lime and some salt. You solve your problem. So, but yeah, be sure to come check out the restaurant downtown. That's our brick and mortar. We've been open for a year. We're excited to expand from there. And then also check us out on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. It is El Taco Bron. You can find our food truck that we're posting events we're going to be at, and we're also posting a lot of awesome cooking videos. So
Friday and Saturday too.
Yep. So for some future events, if you'd like to catch us, we will be at the Rapids game this Friday at Dick's Sporting Goods Park in Commerce City. Now, it's a really big tournament. They just won their first game, and if they win this one, they continue. If they lose, they're out. So watch some great soccer, eat some great tacos, and have a good time. We'll also be in the Rhino District Saturday for Improper City. We'll be there all day serving tacos, have a beer in the afternoon, have a beer at night. Either way, we'll have tacos there for you. So,
And this whole time I've been saying it like abuelo. Taco Bron.
Taco Bron.
Taco Bron.
Right.
Lo
Not
siento.
Taco Brown, Taco Bron.
Minsoo, for someone attending Global Fest for the first time, what are the tips and advice you would give to somebody to make the most out of their experience?
Well, just people need to come with empty stomach, first of all, and also just make yourself open to any new sight, sound, taste. You will get to see like so many different sight, sound, taste. So just be prepared for that.
Open mind, open heart, empty stomach, and hydrate.
Yes.
Love that. That's Minsoo's song from the Office of International and Immigrant Affairs, and Manny Tejada from Taco Bron. You can learn more about El Taco Bron at eltacobron.com. And of course, make plans to visit Global Fest Saturday, August 17th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Aurora Municipal Center, Great Lawn. That's at 15151 East Alameda Parkway. Bring the family, it's free. You can learn more as well at auroragov.org. Thank you for listening to the Gateway to the Rockies podcast. Visit Aurora is the official destination marketing organization for the city of Aurora, Colorado, and acts as the primary liaison between meeting planners and hotel partners. As Aurora's Convention and Visitors Bureau, Visit Aurora's mission is grounded in showcasing Aurora as a premier destination for meetings, business, and leisure travel. Visit Aurora represents more than 75 plus hotel properties with 13,500 plus guest rooms and more than 1 million square feet of meeting space, including Colorado's largest resort, Gaylord Rockies Resort and Convention Center. As Colorado's third largest city, Aurora is located minutes away from Denver International Airport and showcases mountain views, memorable meeting spaces, and 250 plus international eateries that offer a unique experience for each and every visitor. As the gateway to the Rockies, Visit Aurora's role in the local community goes beyond marketing the city as a destination. The Visit Aurora team is here to assist you with your Colorado visit, from facilitating your meeting, event, or convention to helping you discover local flavor and attractions. Go beyond the boardroom in Aurora, Colorado. For more, visit us at visitaurora.com.